Tony, thank you very much for joining us, and a warm welcome to the Heart of Midlothian family. How do you feel now that you're here and these last few days being in Edinburgh?
Yeah, it's really exciting being here in Edinburgh. I really enjoyed the fans forum last night. I got a very, very warm welcome. Hearts fans, as I was told, are unbelievable, really passionate, and very much looking forward to the game tonight against Aberdeen.
A bit of a whirlwind visit so far, but what have been your first impressions of what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with everything here at Hearts at Tynecastle. I got a very warm welcome last night by the fans, a really passionate set of fans, and I've been told in no uncertain terms that I'll see that tonight with the atmosphere against Aberdeen.
On last night's Foundation of Hearts event, you talked about it there. A fantastic night, as you say, a warm reception. How did it all go from your perspective and your first time communicating with fans?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. A very warm reception. The fans seemed to be enjoying it. I enjoyed explaining why I've invested in Hearts and what I see for the future. They may have been slightly surprised about how bold I was, about the vision I have for the success that Hearts can have.
And you were treated to a rendition of the Heart song as well. How was that?
I was. It was great. I still haven't quite learned the words, but hopefully I'll pick them up more tonight.
You covered a lot last night, but for the benefit of our wider fan base, we'll go over some familiar ground. First, the big question, why did you decide you wanted to be involved with Hearts?
Well, the first question is, why did I want to get involved in Scottish football, which I was thinking about 18, 24 months ago. And I thought that Scottish football could do with a change in dynamics, where it's not a two-horse race every season, or it has been for the last 15 years pretty much a one-horse race. Scottish football deserves better than that. So I thought that I can come in and make a difference, and then it was about speaking to a small number of clubs, speaking to people in Scotland who I respect. And when I met with Anne Budge, she sold the club, the history, what happened when she took over, the fact that the club almost went out of existence with the old ownership, the fact that the Foundation of Hearts was such a key part of the club. It helped save the club. It still is so important with the donations from Foundation members, the difference that makes, the community of Hearts. So she sold it very, very well. I then did a lot more work and due diligence. But really after that meeting, I was pretty much sold that Hearts was the club I wanted to invest in.
Were there any key factors or moments during that period of due diligence that set you on this course to investing in Hearts, or was it very much a case of sold from the beginning?
Pretty much sold, as soon as I'd spoken to Anne, did a bit more sort of early due diligence on the club and trying to understand about what the club is about and the history. And during the whole process, it took quite a while. There were no real bumps in the road. All my interactions with the people at Hearts were very, very positive, and I'm just delighted to be here.
And of course, the supporters, foundation members overwhelmingly voted through your investment proposal. What was your reaction to that, your emotions when you saw that resolution passed? Yeah,
I was extremely pleased. You never quite know when things go to a vote. You don't know how Hearts fans, how Foundation members are going to react to potential investment from somebody south of the border. So to get such a high percentage, such a vote of confidence, I'm very, very appreciative of those Hearts members who voted for me.
How do you see your involvement at the club taking shape now that you're here?
Yeah, my involvement is very much in the background. I'm not involved at all in the day-to-day. That's the role of the executive team and the board of directors at Hearts. I can see myself giving a lot of strategic advice and insights to people at the club, and also with my 16 years of experience and contacts in football, I think I can open lots of doors, and I think that's the way that football clubs should be, always looking to improve in many different aspects. And the way of doing that is meeting people at other football clubs, seeing how other clubs operate, and trying to learn from that, but still do things the way which is right for Hearts Football Club.
As part of your investment, you've selected James Franks to be your representative on the club board, someone you know very well for a significant period of time. Can you tell us why he was the right person to join the board, why he was your choice?
I've known James for a very long time. He's a very good friend of mine. He's been working with me for over 17 years. He's a lawyer. He's my legal representative in many different aspects, certainly in terms of my investments in Royal Union St Gilloise, Melbourne Victory, and in Hearts. He's been with me every step of the way there. He's a trusted advisor, a strategic advisor for me, and I think he'd be an excellent appointment for the board of Hearts. He's very passionate. He's taken a big interest in Hearts, the history of Hearts, and I think he'll work very, very well with all the other board members.
The word disrupt has been used a lot. What does disrupting Scottish football mean to you, and what do you want to achieve here at Hearts?
Well, for too long, when I'm looking as an outsider, the Scottish Premier League, everyone's always talking at the start of the season about it being a two-horse race. It's Celtic or Rangers, and the last 15 years, by and large, it soon becomes a one-horse race and Celtic are dominating. That cannot be good for football in this country. It's really not good for Scottish football. It's not good for the Scottish national team, and it's really not good when other teams are not doing well in Europe. It really hurts the Scottish coefficient, which hurts everyone. So I think we can make a real difference, and Hearts can become a factor, regularly qualifying for group stages of European tournament, and when we're in Europe, winning games and having some success, which will help lift the coefficient, which means that the champions of Scotland go straight into the group stages of the Champions League and not having to have two qualifiers. And when the coefficient is so low, it means that qualifying for the fourth and the fifth place teams is much more difficult. You sometimes have three rounds to get through, and some of those games will be against tougher opposition. So we want to be challenging to win the league at the start of the season. That should be a challenge for Hearts, for the players, for everyone at the club, that we can win any game that we go into. We can contend to win any tournament that Hearts are in.
Of course, you had a huge part to play in disrupting Belgian football, helping to transform the fortunes of Union Saint-Gilloise. If people are perhaps looking at comparisons, then is that a fair place to start in terms of what could be achieved at Hearts?
Yeah, I think it's a good place to start, because when 7 years ago I took over Union Saint-Gilloise, we just avoided relegation to the third division. And so it took us 3 years to get promoted to the top division. And in the 4 years we've been there, we've been challenging right at the very top. And we finished second, third and second until last season when we won the league title. So Union Saint-Gilloise has done extremely well. And I'm very hopeful that Hearts can challenge Celtic and Rangers in the same way that Union Saint-Gilloise has challenged Club Brugge, Anderlecht, Antwerp and Genk and some other big teams in Belgium.
You're a man who's been very successful in whatever you turn your hand to, and in footballing terms we've seen that with Brighton and Hove Albion and USG. Scottish football is perhaps a different kettle of fish, so how prepared are you for what may be your biggest challenge to date?
I'm really looking forward to the challenge. I mean, obviously each country has its own ways of doing things, and I've heard that talked about, everything's very different in Scotland, but sometimes I don't have those preconceptions. At the end of the day, football is football. If we get a really good team of players with a great head coach, I think we can go a very long way.
We're on the cusp of a new league season. It starts tonight against Aberdeen, but the team has already enjoyed a very promising start with a perfect League Cup campaign. Have you been keeping an eye on events from afar on the pitch?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been following things. I know our performance as well as results have been exceptional in pre-season, accepting the fact that the 4 cup games were against lower league opposition. We still played really well, but we all know that the real test starts here tonight, home to Aberdeen, and under the lights, first game of the season at Tynecastle. It's something that we should all be very much looking forward to.
As you say, getting that first taste of that Tynecastle atmosphere tonight, how much are you looking forward to that?
I'm immensely looking forward to the game tonight. I've heard how passionate the fans are, that they will be tonight. You know, the atmosphere at the club is really strong at the moment. The atmosphere with Derek and the players is really strong. Hopefully that will all come together and it'll be an excellent game tonight, and hopefully we'll end up with the 3 points.
Looking back to last season, I think everyone will agree that Hearts underachieved. What do you think the club should be achieving this season?
I don't like to talk about what it should be achieving. I think we just have to get the processes right, have the players playing really well, and I genuinely believe that, you know, each and every game we play and we can go in believing we can win, and we go into the season, we should be believing that we can challenge to win the 3 tournaments that we're entering.
We've talked a lot about this being a new era for the club, a new manager, new players, a new recruitment process with Jamestown Analytics, new investors, and yourself. Do you feel that buzz about the place, and how much does it excite you to be a part of that and involved?
I can certainly feel a real buzz tonight, today. Looking forward to the game. I can't compare to how it was previously, but I think there is a big buzz of excitement. I'm sure there is with Derek and the set of players, and let's hope that tonight goes really well, both in terms of the atmosphere. I'm very confident of that, and hopefully that the players perform and we get a good result tonight.
Just finally, Tony, our supporters have really taken to you and got behind you in what you'd like to do with this club. Do you have a message for them?
Yeah, just to say I'm really excited to be on board at Hearts. I know the support you give is exceptional. Keep that going through not so good times as well as the excellent times, because there'll always be bumps in the road, there'll always be bad performances, there'll always be results which fans are not happy with. But I think your support is going to be so important as Hearts get the success that I hope that we will do.